Hello, it's Monday the 4th of February 2019 and I haven't uploaded a video since before Christmas. In this video I'm going to look at the EuroMillions. The last video I did, it was up to draw 1173 and it's now up to 1186, and the jackpot tomorrow night is 112 million. So I'm just going to do a quick update so you can have a look at the numbers as they are at the moment. So back in draw 1173, these were all the coincidences. So machine 3 pointed to star number 5 and main number 39, and those numbers didn't point to anything else, so only two numbers were predicted. Then draw 1174 looks like this. So we got a lot of coincidences when star numbers 3 and 4 came out. 50 was most frequent and most overdue for its frequency, and star number 4 pointed to 15. So draw 1175. So in draw 1175 we get these coincidences. So we've got 31 stood out in recent history, that points to number 4, and star number 2. Star number 2 points to 43, 43 points to 9 and 2. Star number 9 points to star number 2 as well. So a few coincidences in that one. Then we've got draw 1176. Main number 16 most overdue with machine 3 set balls 5. 35 most overdue with machine 3, that pointed to 13. 13 pointed to star number 12, and that's about it for that one. Then we had draw 1177. And in that we got these coincidences. So star numbers 4 and 6 stood out. Star number 4 with machine 1. 25 stood out with star number 4 and machine 1. And there's a coincidences for that draw. And then in draw 1178, then we got these numbers. So 19 stood out, star number 6 stood out with 19. Star number 6 and 10 stood out with each other in recent history. Number 7 most overdue with star number 6 and machine 1. So a few coincidences there. So you might notice that not very often, it's not very often that all the numbers are pointed to from the main chart. So on this one 22 was most overdue and most overdue for its frequency. That pointed to 19. I must have missed that one because I think I was quite certain that 19 and 22 were going to come out together at some point, and that was before this draw, so I think I was right about that. So you can see those are the coincidences for that one. Sorry, I just had to pause it while it was saving, doing the auto save thing because it takes ages. Now draw 1180. In draw 1180 we get these coincidences. So 19 stood out, that pointed to star number 1, that pointed to star number 6, and that's about it for that draw. Then we had 1181. You notice there's a new set of balls, which is set 9, and to add set 9 to this spreadsheet I've had to go into this bit of code, and I've also had to basically paste that into the home sheet, and I've added set of ball 9 on there. So now set 9 comes up and it does an analysis for set 9 as well. So I've built that in. So in draw 1180 you can see 3 and 6, the star numbers 3 and 6 stood out. 6 pointed to 29, and that's about it for that one. And then 1182 in draw 1182 we get these coincidences. So 46 was the most overdue number, that pointed to main number 6, that pointed to 16. So 6, 16 and 46 stood out with each other. Star number 10 stood out, and that pointed to star number 5, main number 6. And star number 5 pointed to 30 as well. So also main number 5. So all the numbers kinda stood out on that. So that's one where it led to all the numbers. And then draw 1183. So we've got 23 most frequent with machine 1. That doesn't point to anything else. Star number 8 stood out, and that pointed to 23, so didn't get very far with that one. Then we've got 1184. In that draw we've got these numbers. So star number 6 points to star number 10, that points to main number 1, that points to 16. And so that's 2 main numbers and 2 star numbers. And the other numbers didn't stand out. Then we had draw 1185. And in that we got these numbers. So 14 stood out. Now I've got a strategy for the number that's most overdue for its frequency. So what I do is I track the numbers to see which number is most overdue for its frequency. On the main chart, that's looking at all machines and sets of balls, and at the moment it is 17, but before that I think it was something like draw 1184 or something. Right, it was 14, but before that there we go. See, we had 14 and 19 both in the same place, and when that happens there's no prediction. So if you're following this strategy, it sort of gets put on hold, because it only applies when there's one number that stands out as most overdue for its frequency. And so that's partly why I didn't upload any videos for a while, because I was waiting for one of these two numbers to come out so that I knew which one to bet on. And when 49 come out, that left 14, and I won 10 quid on that, on number 14. Just bear with me a moment. Right, so I won £10 on number 14. Right, and then it changed to number 10, and I was gonna try and win on that, but now it's changed to 17. And obviously the reason why it changes is because, if you notice, this rectangle has got a smaller base than this one, and so obviously with each draw a new line is added, and so that adds a new line to the bottom of the base, and so because one's got a large base it increases faster than the other one. So 17 has taken over from 10, and if it carries on then 44 will take over from 17. It'll go on like that, but at the moment it's 17. So for a one number optic strategy, the best number to bet on at the moment is 17. And I could explain why it is the best number to bet on, but to do that I'd have to do a load of measurements to prove it. And basically what the measurements prove is that the number that's in this spot, the one with the largest area, when you factor in the vertical and horizontal components of each number, the one with the largest area, whichever number it is at the time, comes out more often than the most frequent number. And in this case the most frequent number is number 50, which has come out 141 times, but you can guarantee that a number has come out from this spot where 17 is at the moment more often than 141 times. Now I could measure it and prove that to you, and it'd probably be something like 180 times or something, but I'll save that for another video. I've done that in my lotto videos, done the measurement and proved it, but I'm not doing it in this one. So anyway, the most recent draw was 1186. And this is my analysis for draw 1186. So none of these numbers stood out initially, they only stood out with each other. So I wouldn't have got any numbers from that, because what I do is start off with no numbers. And I just look at these two charts. So this chart corresponds to this cell of the analyzer. So you can see 47 is most overdue, 50 is most frequent, and 17 is most overdue for its frequency. And that's on the main number side. And then if we look at the star numbers, it looks like this. You can only see number 12, which was added most recently. If we flip that around, you can see the other numbers. You can see that number 8 is the most frequent star number at the moment. But to get all of the star numbers on the same chart, I'm only going to look at the draw history as far back as when the star numbers went up to 12. So since number 12 was added, you can see number 3 as being most frequent. That's come out 52 times. So that's the most frequent. At the moment, number 7 is the most overdue star number, but in my opinion the one that stands out the most and that is probably most likely to come out in the next draw is star number 9. So I'm just going to make a note of that. Now if you want to pick a main number to go with star number 9, then we can look at the full draw history, because there's always been a star number 9. And now we're looking at a chart just for main numbers that have occurred with star number 9. And what I find most interesting about this chart is look where number 10 is, and that was the one that was most overdue for its frequency quite recently, until 17 took over. And then we've got 16 is most overdue and most overdue for its frequency. Most frequent is 20. So probably the best main number to go with star number 9 would be probably 16. So I'll just make a note of that. Now if we look at that in more recent history, since they went up to 12, 16 still stands out as most overdue. And we've got number 3 most overdue for its frequency. So now let's have a look at numbers paired with 16. So we've got 27 massively overdue. That is the most overdue pair, by the way, 16 and 27. They haven't come out together since draw number 12. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go back to the analyzer, and we know that looking at the draw history, we know that they use the same machine and the same set of balls usually for the whole month. So each change on this is a month, changes every month. And we've just gone into February and it looks like they're going to be using machine 2 and set of balls 9. So we can assume that they're going to carry on using machine 2 and set of balls 9 for the rest of the month. So that gives us some more charts to look at. So now we can look at a chart for machine 2, and that looks like this. Now on the chart for machine 2, notice how 27 is most overdue and most overdue for its frequency, and it's also most overdue to occur with main number 16 as well. That's the most overdue pair. There's no other pair of numbers on the EuroMillions that's more overdue than that pair. So 16 and 27, in my opinion, are due to come out together. I mean, massively overdue to come out together. Now back to the analyzer. Set of balls 9 hasn't been in use for very long. So if we look at a chart for set of balls 9, it's going to be very small. So you can hardly see anything on that. Not very much to go on, apart from the fact that 19 has come out 3 times, whereas all the other numbers have come out 2, 1 or 0 times so far. But anyway, if we look at these numbers then and see what stands out with these numbers. Now we should start to see some interesting patterns emerging. So 17, let's have a look at numbers that stand out with 17. I noticed that star number 7 is most overdue with star number 9, and the same with machine 2. But in fact I'm going to have a look at this. Now let's have a look at just the star numbers and machine 2. So that's the star numbers for machine 2. And if we look at the numbers paired with number 9, then 10 stands out, and so does 7. So not too sure what that means, but anyway, this is set of balls 9. So these are star numbers for set of balls 9. You can see star number 9 not come out yet with that set of balls. So there's not really much to go on at the moment. But definitely 16 and 27, star number 9. And if those numbers come out together, then we'll get these coincidences. So I don't really know what's going to happen in the next draw, but I'll just show you what numbers stand out with the numbers that stand out. So 50 is most frequent, and it looks like possibly 19 or 38 stands out with 16 and 50. So anyway, I'm not gonna not going to pick all my numbers just yet. I'm going to sleep on it before I pick some numbers. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Because sometimes in my dreams I have premonitions, and I can actually prove that I do, because sometimes I've written my dreams down when I've woke up, and then the next day I've seen things in real life that correspond exactly with what I dreamt. So I will probably try and remember my dream when I wake up tomorrow morning and write it down and see if there's any numbers in it. But anyway, to wrap this video up then, this is what the main chart looks like. So I don't know if you can see all these numbers, but that's where they all are in relation to each other in terms of the frequency on the x-axis and the recency on the y-axis. So that's the main numbers. That's the main numbers on their own. And since the star numbers went up to 12, you see the frequencies in the more recent history are all different. So 17's been most frequent in the most recent history. And looking at the star numbers, since they went up to 12, that's the chart for the star numbers at the moment. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that it helps you to pick some winning numbers. So if you want to see any of these charts again that you've seen in the video, all you've got to do is wind it back and pause it. So that's a chart for machine 2, looking at the star numbers. I'll just show you what the chart for machine 2, looking at the main numbers, looks like again. So machine 2, this is where the main numbers are. For machine 2, the chart looks like that. So that's just about all the charts I've got to show you. Showing you all the coincidences in the most recent draws, and that's just the numbers that stand out with some of the numbers that stand out. So I hope that helps you to pick some winning numbers in tomorrow night's draw. So bye for now.